Imagine working 12 hours a day on Chennai roads and not knowing where you will find a toilet or even clean drinking water. Because for a majority of gig workers in Tamil Nadu, that is everyday life. And here's the other side of the story. Before many of them earn their first rupee, they're already in debt. They've taken loans for bikes, loans for phones, loans just to start working. This is the gig economy we don't usually see. Vanakkam. This is T. Suresh Kumar. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the Hindu Focus Tamil Nadu. Today, I am walking you through the State Planning Commission study on status of platform-based gig workers in Tamil Nadu. This is not guesswork. This is based on interviews with 255 gig workers across Chennai, Madurai, and Coimbatore. And it covers the entire ecosystem from ride-hailing apps like Uber, Ola, and Rapido to delivery platforms like Swiggy, Zomato, Blinkit, to logistics and even home services. So, what you're about to hear is the full picture. Before we go further, who are these workers? Most of them are young. The majority are between 18 and 38 years old. This is not side income for them. This is a generation trying to build a livelihood, but very few continue in this work as they grow older because physically and financially it may not be sustainable long term. Now let's talk about flexible work hours, which is touted as a big factor by the aggregators while enlisting the gig workers. The survey found nearly 70% of workers are working 6 to 7 days a week. More than 45% are working 10 to 12 hours every day, and some even 16 to 18 hours. Yes, on paper you can log out anytime, but in reality you can't afford to. Now let's come back to the money. Most workers earn just between rupees 400 and 1000 rupees a day, but nearly half of them have already taken loans just to buy the vehicles. Loans from banks, private lenders, and even money lenders. So before they earn, they already owe money. And then comes the fuel cost, EMI, maintenance, commissions. And what remains is often very little. There's no stability, no guaranteed income, and almost no pathway for growth. Now, here is the part we don't see. These workers are called quote unquote independent, but their contracts, they are non negotiable. It's take it or leave it. And once they are in, the algorithm takes over. It decides what work you get, how much you earn, how you are rated, whether you continue. All this with very little transparency. This is control without accountability. And now come back to where we started. Nearly 79% of workers say they don't have access to toilets. 75% don't have access to drinking water. It's long hours, urban heat, no basic facilities. This is clearly not flexibility. It is about survival. Now, what about regulation, you may ask? Of course, India has the Code on Social Security 2020, but implementation is slow and fragmented. The report points out several states, including Rajasthan, Karnataka, Jharkhand, and Telangana, have taken more proactive approaches through welfare schemes and registration systems. However, these state level initiatives often lack strong enforcement mechanisms, and they provide modest benefits and struggle with practical challenges of reaching a dispersed workforce. Across the country, there is no consistent system yet, and this is where the report becomes more important. It calls for establishing a dedicated state social security fund for platform workers to provide them health insurance, maternity support, pensions, disability coverage, and accidental death benefits. It recommends ensuring universal registration of gig workers and platforms through the Tamil Nadu Gig Workers Welfare Board portal, integrated with the eShram UID system to enable portability and seamless access to state and central benefits. The report calls for the implementation of a central transaction monitoring system to ensure transparency and accountability in cess collection, fund management, and welfare disbursements. It wants app-based aggregators to bear the recruitment-related costs or provide subsidized starter kits, including uniforms, bags, and ID cards, to reduce the financial burden on the workers. Besides, it has called for capping working hours at 12 hours per day and 60 hours per week to prevent overwork driven by incentive-based tasks and time regimes. The report also recommends transparency in commission structures and platform communications, with all information provided in the local language and explained clearly. In simple terms, it calls for dignity. Now, to be fair, Tamil Nadu has started taking steps. There is a gig workers welfare board, insurance schemes, and rest launches in Chennai. These are important, but clearly they are not enough because the system itself still puts most of the risk on the worker. The gig economy in Tamil Nadu and elsewhere is at a critical moment. Right now, workers carry the risks, app aggregators take the benefits. But this is not inevitable. With the right policies, this can change. So the next time your order arrives in 10 minutes, remember this: that speed is not free. It is powered by long hours, debt, uncertainty, and a system that promises freedom but often delivers control. The question here is not whether the gig economy works. The real question is, who does it work for? On that note, this is D. Suresh Kumar signing off. I shall meet you in another video. Thank you.